this is a special edition of I Don't Listen to 90s Music. We have the great Thea Vidal as our guest on this show. It was so much great discussion and talk and fun with Thea. We had to split into three parts, man. So this is part one for everybody. We're gonna roll it out over the next few weeks, and it's a great conversation. We hope y'all enjoy, but just know we love y'all, and we'll see y'all soon. Check this out with the great Thea Vidal. All right, welcome back to another edition of I Don't Listen to 90s Music. Look, we took a little sabbatical, but when we came back, we came back for y'all. We came back and all right. So we had love giving flowers to while folks are still here, smell them. And today we got a straight up legend in the building. Like this is a for real legend, y'all. Like y'all don't understand. She's a pioneer in comedy, a powerhouse on stage and screen, and the first African American female comedian to ever star in a network sitcom named after her. Thea, which gave young Brandy Norwell her big break. You've seen on everything from the Wayans brothers to Ugly Betty. You've laughed with her on Def Comedy Jam and Last Comic Standing. And if you're into wrestling, you caught her doing her thing as Mama Benjamin. You know who it is. We talked about on the viral clip in the show Thea, Miss Thea Vidal. Thank you for coming on. I only listen to 90s.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
So much.
Thank you for having me. I wasn't really like sure I was gonna do it or not. And then I said, well, what the fuck? It couldn't hurt.
That's good.
I'll talk. I'll talk. Uh this podcast thing is really interesting to me. People have said I should do a podcast. I said, I don't know. I cuss too much. I just
I mean,
somebody will call me and say some stupid shit, and I'll be and say, "What you say, motherfucker?" Accidentally, because I'm saved, and it's it's
This is my
it's it's
mother.
a lot. I don't know what I would talk about, although I talk a lot. You know, I've been doing this almost 40 years. Jesus, that's a long time to do some stuff.
yeah,
I
but
love
a little bit, but it's
I love being on stage. I do. Um I love, don't get me wrong, I love doing theater. I did. I was very conflicted after I got canceled. I was like, well, I'm still Thea. Uh and people would come up to me and go, are you Thea? The lady that played Thea? No, I am Thea. I am Thea. I That was a blessing. It was a blessing to do it. I wish I had more fun, but I didn't. And it's because I don't do politics. I really don't. I wish I could do diplomacy. I really do. But it just doesn't work out that way because people, they fight different in Hollywood. They fight different. You know, when we have a disagreement, we have a dinner and we bring each other a gift and then we talk about what the problem is. And Andrew Suskin and I bought him a bottle of Glenlivet. And is it Glenlivet?
yeah, Glenn Levitt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Glenlivet. And he bought me a bottle of Chanel.
Nice.
And we sat down and we talked. He says, I don't want Mary Ellen here. And I said, well, Mary Ellen happened to be a black person. And I said, well, I want her here. And if you don't, if she leaves, you gonna follow her. And I sat there and we had dinner and I said what I said and I meant what I said. But let me tell you how fucked up it is. I stood up for this woman and saved her job. And when they were thanking people for doing Thea, she never thanked me. And I saved her job. And I thought, I said, in the old days, I would just go punch her in the face. But I guess I have to let it go. I see what I see, you know. I see how people really are. Once they get what they want from you,
Mm-hmm.
it's das vidanya. They don't give a shit anymore.
So,
And that's cool. And that's cool. That's what it is. But I never forgot that. I never forgot that.
So who was Mary Ellen on the show? Was she the showrunner or
She was associate producer.
okay?
And them white boys wanted her gone.
yes, if I see
They
her,
wanted her gone.
Mary Ellen
Marilyn,
Jones and Thomas.
yes, yes.
Yep.
How you know her?
I don't. but I'm really good with the
She
internet.
does her research.
She does her
You
research.
did your research.
I'm quick. I'm quick with the internet. I'm extremely quick with
She's
Google.
good.
I
She's
Yeah.
good.
suck.
She's
Um,
good.
I will never forget that as long as I live.
So with that experience, is what were there any other lessons that you learned by
I
doing that
learned
show?
that Hollywood mothers, they don't discipline their children. They let them get away with whatever. And that because the child is the breadwinner.
I was just going to
Mm.
ask you, do you think it's because the child is the
It,
breadwinner?
the
They
child
bringing
is the
in all the
breadwinner.
money.
And you just say yes, yes, yes. Whatever the child says, yes, 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 yes. No, fuck you, no. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Brett Butler said she would never do a show with children again. She would do it with orphans.
I love Brett Butler.
I
So
think Brett, I understand Brett. Don't take this the wrong way,
okay.
but that white woman was given every opportunity in the world, and she just chunked it. They would have never gave me what they gave her. They would have never gave me. Just like, just like Seinfeld. Castle Rock. Castle Rock retooled Seinfeld at least 5 times.
Mm.
At least five
Mhm.
times. They would never retool Thea.
Yeah, I think with Seinfeld, with especially with it being on NBC, like who was there? Brandon Tartikoff at that time.
Um,
I think they just really pushed for the show. But Brett Butler, to your point, I think some people aren't ready for that level of success, although they
but
are.
Brett had it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they have the talent. They deserve to be there. But are you ready to be able to do what you need to do to keep that? Because some people know how to get there, but once they get there, do they know what to do once they're there?
Maintain it.
How do you maintain it?
Yeah, but she was on for what, 4 or 5 years, maybe. But she had internal stuff going on. She had stuff with her husband and all this other stuff, and showing the kid her titties and shit. I don't know what made her do that, but God bless her. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you just, when you're in the throes of shit, I would say drugs and whatever,
Mhm.
you find yourself doing shit you shouldn't be doing. And I know that from up close and personal. Uh, Thea should have been more fun for me. Uh, but I still had fun, but not the fun that I wanted to have.
Would you
And
ever
I don't
consider?
regret it. I don't regret it by no stretch of the imagination. I don't regret it. It to be the first black woman to be on a network, a major network, that was amazing for me.
And with that, I mean, so would you ever consider doing another sitcom, or
Yeah,
is
I would.
okay?
I think people should see me as a grandmother now.
Mm.
Mm.
Because I think I'm a different person. I To a certain degree, I think I'm a different person.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm kind of ornery. I think it's because I have teenagers now, teenage
Oh, well,
grandchildren,
teenagers are horrible, so that makes sense.
and like my grandson Marjay. He 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 was in the park, and I told him, I said, when you go to the park, you got to be back here about 5 o'clock. He said, "Okay, yes, ma'am." That Negro did not come back at 5 o'clock.
What time did he come
It
back?
was 7.
It's 7.
Okay, and then I said, you know what? You're not going to. I bet you one thing. I bet you're not going to the park tomorrow. I bet you that. I said, I don't know what you think this is, but I don't play that. I don't play that. And it's like, just from being disobedient. See, that's the whole thing. You got to be obedient. He got robbed at gunpoint.
Mm.
That was scary. I was like, huh? I was like, oh Jesus. And my daughter was telling me, let me throw my gum out. Because I know that's not attractive and everything. So it was scary. And because these kids are doing too much. And They went, the police came, and the boy, he didn't shoot him or nothing, but he took his backpack, and the other guy, his cousin Zion, he had a really nice backpack. It was pricey, and he took it. Now, mind you, it's these three guys that are going around robbing people in the park. Guess what? They go back to the park. Him and Zion's brother is kind of, how can I say it, thuggish. And he went back and got his gun, and Marjay was, and when they found his backpack, it was had $10,000 in it and about 8 phones. And the police came and arrested. I said, wait a minute, you saw $10,000 in his backpack and you didn't take it? Man, y'all some. But see, Zion's mother's white, so that there's
Oh, well,
that. You know, she filed restraining order and everything. Went to an Airbnb because they was following her, and it's just like, look at this shit here.
Mm.
This is ridiculousness. So, I man, if you don't stop, uh, this is uh, this is weird. It was weird, but it goes to show disobedient child don't come to no good end.
mm,
Mm.
And I said, see, you gonna learn. And he punched the boy. He punched him up real good. Marjay's like that. Marjay's going to be something. He's going to be something phenomenal. Phenomenal. And I tell him that all the time. He plays football, basketball, runs. He's all around little renaissance man. And he's focused. He's focused. But he doesn't get, you have to be careful. You have to be careful out here. And if the police come, I've talked to the children because there's 5 boys, 5 boys and 2 girls. And I said, you have to, if the police ever stop you, you got to put your hands at 10 and 2 and be still. And because they'll kill you for even if you steal. So I need you to be hyper vigilant and be still and answer yes, sir, no, sir, because I'm trying to save your life. And that's the hardest thing to have to tell young black men. Just do what I say because I'm trying to save your life. White people don't have to tell their children shit like this. They will never have to tell their children how to act when the police stop them. They will never have to tell them that. And they say they're not entitled. Well, it seems so to me. It seems so to me. I don't know when I'm 68 years old, and for the first time in my life, I'm watching our country deteriorate. And they're talking about make America great again. When hasn't it been great for white people? I'm just asking. I know it ain't been that fun for us, but when hasn't it been
yeah,
great
I'm
for
trying to figure out
y'all?
what year was the best that we had that we trying to get back to.
Shit.
So, well,
I don't know. Like when we had Black Panther, I don't know. I don't know.
You said the year we had Black Panther.
here we have Black Panther. So
We,
you mentioned your age. So
I'm 68 now.
according to my research, you were born in
Yes.
Washington D.C.
Walter Reed Hospital.
You grew up in a military family.
Yes, I did.
You later moved to Texas.
Yes, I did.
All right, that's 3 things that I just got right. And Scott, this will come back around in a minute about why I just did that.
I did. I did live in LA for a while,
Okay.
and then I needed to leave because my mother was ill.
So with that, I mean, so as we're talking, you just mentioned about America. So with you living in all those different places, DC and Texas are not the same.
I've lived in Japan for 3.5 years.
Not the same, right? So all these things, so with all of those different experiences that you had, do you think that did they help shape your comedic voice, or like when did you find that comedic voice? Like when did you know that you were funny?
If you talk to my parents and my cousins, they'll tell you I've always been funny.
Mm.
From the first time I got on stage at the comedy showcase,
Was that in Houston?
in Pasadena, Texas, yeah. I got up there and I talked about I used to work at Steak and Egg Kitchen. I know you've heard that. The first black to ever work there in 20 years.
Oh wow.
And these white people told me, they said, you don't. Pasadena used to be a sundown town.
Oh.
That's like Anna, Illinois.
Yeah, like Nigga, don't let the sun go down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but then they did 60 minutes and then they said, well, maybe the sun could stay up a little longer. So anyway, so these people told me you shouldn't be here. And I said, what are you are you trying to start that shit again? And they said, no, no, no. Thea, you're funny. You should be at a comedy club. You should be a comedian. And I'm just like, you gotta be out your mind. I don't remember doing no comedy, you know. And they said, well, uh, uh, okay, well, tomorrow. And so I said, well, wait, that's next. Let's go next week, because I'm nervous. And they took me to they took me to the comedy club, and I saw comics getting on stage, and I went, oh my God, this is amazing. And then Robert Parrish, he asked me, he said, you wanna get on stage? I went, oh no, no, I just came to watch. And then the next week, November the 20th, which is my birthday, I got on stage and I looked at the three white people that brought me to the comedy club and I just talked to them. But the whole audience was laughing. They were laughing, but I didn't look at them because I was scared. And it was the most. Danny Martinez said, you come back next week. Okay, you gonna come back next week?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll come back next week." And I kept coming back and back, and I had to change shift because I was working 10 to 6, and in the I used to call it the lynching hours, and then so I had to trade with this other girl, and I said, "I'll work your uh 4 to 10 so I could do stand up." And my husband at the time, he didn't want me to do stand up. And even though he saw that I was funny, he said if I wanted to be married to a comedian, I'd have married a comedian. And that broke my heart because he saw I had talent, I had possibilities, and he was not supportive of that. And I would tell any man, you ought to want your woman to be the best woman she can be. And he broke my heart when he said he wasn't supportive and he said no. So I left him.
Damn
I
right.
left him. He didn't see it coming, but then he did see it coming because he didn't, but he did. Because I was asking my mother, would you watch the kids while I just give me 1 year? That's all I'm asking, 1 year. And they were like, no, I can't watch your kids. And then Bill came and he got the kids, and I went and stayed with a friend and did stand up. And I just went all over the country driving a Chevy Chevette,
Hey.
popping the clutch, and doing stand up all over the country. And then I got to be all over the world a little bit. Australia and Kosovo and Iraq and England and Scotland, and oh, it was so many places. It was so many places. Korea. And I want to go do South Africa.
Hmm.
I think that would be, if I could find a promoter, I would really go do that. So next question.
So it was when you mentioned we told the story about the ex husband and him not wanting you to do that. It literally made me think of when I wanted to do a podcast. So this is before ham radio when I wanted to do a podcast or a radio show. And the guy that I was dating at the time, I told him that, and he said, "Who's gonna listen to you?"
Well, obviously not you, you bitch, but that's okay.
So and I was like, huh? I'm like, no, I'm like, I'm like, I don't know. At that time, I didn't have a plan, but it was like, it was step one is I know that I want to do this. I got to figure it out, but I know that I want to have a show. And he like immediately pooped on it, like immediately. And so, and then like literally like a week or two later, Scott calls me up about a show that he was on. Didn't know, I didn't even know he was doing it. And so like, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come out?" And I'm like, "Sure." So when I tell the guy, like I'm tell my guy, and he's like, I guess you're gonna go. And there was I think on his Facebook page he had made some kind of post like, what's everybody doing tonight? And I commented, Matt, this is my boyfriend. And I said, if you're not doing anything tonight, be sure to tune in to blah 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 tonight. You know, and next thing you know, he makes a post and it's like, don't you hate when people hop on your post trying to steal your audience?
Oh.
It's like, I hope you remember that.
And
Remember
so
that.
uh, like long story short, I went on to be on that episode, became it was added to the show, took
Uh-huh.
over the show, and had it for several years on different platforms, and now here we are. And pretty much any video with my face on it goes viral, but nobody. So,
Well, how does he feel about that now?
well, he passed away. But what I
I'm
will say is this.
sorry.
He did. He passed away during COVID. But what I'll say is this, though. Prior to him passing away, he had a podcast. And do you know who he asked to be a guest host on that podcast?
You.
Stacey Adams.
Me. He wanted me.
Man, if you don't go to hell on.
He wanted me to come on the show and be a guest host because they needed a girl. They needed a girl. And I get the call. It's like,
He
oh, you
just so happens to know a girl.
he just so happens to know a girl that it's like, so it's like to your point of, ideally you'd want someone who had ambitions and had dreams
Uh,
to do something. And it's not like you were saying, I'm this is all I'm going to do. Like you said that you needed a year, right? You needed some time. You had a plan. And I think that if someone comes to you with a plan for what they want to do, y'all can sit down and figure out, how can we make this work? Because again, if you say, give me a year, okay, after a year, we'll reevaluate. But during that
they
year,
weren't. They weren't. I'm the black sheep of my family, so I wasn't expecting too terribly much. And I would tell anybody that's the black sheep of their family. After a while, I mean, let's be honest, it hurts. It does hurt. But look at it this way: they don't think you're shit. Okay, your family don't believe you shit. At family reunions, you ain't got to bring no paper plates. You ain't got to bring no napkins.
I could just
You
like
ain't got to bring no meat. You ain't got to bring shit because you ain't shit. And if you ain't shit, then let me be not shit, and fuck you toodly do. And I'm not lying. There's some perks to being the black sheep. They don't expect anything from you. So of course they wouldn't ask you to do anything. Of
Mhm.
course they wouldn't want your insight on anything because you're the black sheep. Duh. And I'm not lying. I know I'm the black sheep. And it is my daddy could not stand me. So I will be honest with you. I have no shame. It is what it is. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. And you got the sister that's so perfect. And you know what? Well, let that bitch be perfect. Let her be perfect. My sister, she could be vicious. I get along with three of my sisters. One of them, not so much, because we have a weird love hate relationship because we're almost like twins. My birthday's November the 20th, hers is October the 10th.
oh wow.
Mhm.
So we stay the same age for a couple of weeks. Uh, we you know, we have it's very different. My other sisters, we get along perfectly. They'll do anything for me. My sister Danette, not so much. And that's okay. That's okay. But it's kind of interesting, the dynamics. Cause you show me a comic that's really, really funny, and I'll show you a comic that's been through some bullshit.
yes,
The most phenomenal comics have been through some painful shit.
I
Mhm.
just had that conversation with someone the other day about most comics are struggling with grief or maybe addiction or even depression. Like there's
Oh,
something
oh, very much so.
deep
Because
in there.
people,
You had to learn how to laugh.
if anybody has a right to be depressed, it's black folk.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. No, really, black people just now discovering, that they're depressed. They're going through a depression.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
It
like
I
we were
can
just
I'm
allowed to do it.
it's like I don't think you're allowed to. Colored boy, you calm down. That's what you do. And what's all this tears and shit? What is all these tears? Oppress, mouser. Oppress. Now, anyway, oppress. Where'd you learn that word? Anyway, it's
You
Who
you've
taught
been
reading?
who
reading
taught you
again.
Like,
Negroes to
nigga, you
read? They
reading?
was actually teaching you Negroes to read.
Teach them Negroes
Who
to
told you that word?
These Negroes.
Um, I will be honest with you. I've suffered with depression for many, many years, and it's people say you just want people to feel sorry for you. Oh, the fuck you do. Let me tell you something. You don't want that. You
Mm-mm.
what's happened is when you stay in your room and you don't come out and you just stay in your room and you don't have nothing to say and you don't even want to talk to anybody. That's scary. I mean, it's real.
Mhm.
It's real. And when I was a teenager, I suffered with depression. Deep, I mean deep. I didn't come out my room. I went to school, came home, took off my clothes, and just laid in my bed and watched my black and white TV. Cause we ain't had no color TV
right, right, right.
then.
Let's go.
No. I would listen to sad songs. The OJs. What am I waiting for?
Wow, you listen to OJ's? What?
Oh my God, I did. I just listened to She Ain't Coming Back No More.
You was deep in.
I was really deep in it, like, and then she took the fork and the spoon.
I think you said that song before.
Just, go listen to it. You hear what I'm saying? It's just like, and you would feel so. I would feel so. I just and my mother, she would come in and she said, "Thea, come on out. Come out of this room right now and come sit in the living room on this plastic sofa." We can,
So for our younger listeners, it'd be the equivalent to that Gerald Levert song, "Taking Everything." Y'all
uh
remember that song by Gerald Levert in the '90s, "Taking
huh.
Everything." That's the equivalent of OJ song, which is
So
ironic because it's his
okay,
dad.
you just and over there, I can feel it. No, I'm not lying. It's just oh, I would listen to another song. Stay in your corner. You know that song?
I don't know
Mm.
that one.
You don't know that one?
Let me see. Let me see. Hold
It's
on.
a it's a I think it's the Delphonics. It
Stay in your
sings
It's the
corner.
Dells. It's the Dells.
The
the Dale
Dales.
sings stay in my corner. That was oh man, that was a sad song right there. What's the saddest song you could think to listen to? And I would listen to it and I would just be in my bed, you know. And depression is real, and I had it as a teenager,
Yep.
and it's
I'm
real.
listening. Uh-huh.
It's
I'm like,
real.
so when does it stop? I'm like, because like I'm listening because I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I've had depression since I was a teenager. I'm 43 now. What day does it stop?
If you get some medication, it might stop for a little while. It may stop because I haven't taken medication in years. What in the hell?
She got her medication.
I'm not lying. I haven't taken medication in years, and anti-anxiety medicine I haven't taken in years, and I can feel it. Trust me, I can feel it. And I know it sounds crazy, but I can feel it. And young people, we forget young people got feelings.
Mm-hmm.
They feel shit. Uh, but who gives a fuck? No, I'm teasing. They're broke. No,
No,
I'm
it's funny you say
teasing.
that.
Like they
I had to say
broke.
that. I had to
They
tell my
broke.
mother that. I had to
They
actually
broke. They have
tell
no opinion.
her.
No, anyway.
No, I had to. That's actually something I had to say to my mom. I said that. I said there's this. I said my life. I said every time that I'd be like, oh, I'm tired, or blah blah. You'd be like, oh, girl, you too young to be tired. You got them young
No,
legs.
you know what? You know what? And how old is your mother?
My mother is 73.
And you can say that shit at 73 because you didn't ran all over creation and did what the fuck you wanted to do,
No.
but you can't fathom that I'm in despair. And that's what pisses me off about black people. They
Yeah.
do not respect that sometimes people are in despair. They're bewildered, they're lost. They want you to be what they want you to be, and people don't we are not receptive to the fact that sometimes people are in a space that you can't even fathom, my friend, he didn't believe in depression either until his wife had a bad, it was on this when they had US Air. Man, remember US Air? No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they had a lot of turbulence, really bad, and she was the lead flight attendant, and it was really bad, really bad. And nothing happened, but it was just the whole thing. They had to carry her off of the plane when it landed because it was just that bad. And she was trying to grasp what had happened, and then some kind of way she got twisted up, and she was in deep despair, and for a few months she stayed off the plane, and then they put her back on the plane, and then it got a little bumpy and she freaked the fuck out. And he said, I never believed in depression until I saw my wife,
No.
because she had nothing to say, nothing. She just was there, and he had seen it for himself. And that's why I say black people need to be more cognizant of mental illness. You got to be cognizant. You got to pay attention, because sometimes we losing people. Like Phyllis Hyman, me and her, we played phone tag, and next thing I know, she had killed herself.
Mm.
See, didn't nobody pay attention. They knew something was wrong, but they wasn't paying attention. Oh, she'll just walk it off. She'll get over it. Just like Robin Williams. His wife knew something was wrong. How you married to somebody and you don't know when something is wrong? Because
I've
you
said,
don't give a fuck.
yeah, I've
That's
said
why.
several times, and I talk about mental health and depression and whatnot on my Facebook page a lot because it's something I struggle with, and rather than being living in the dark with it, I'm transparent because other people need to see I'm not always happy. I'm not always smiling. Like there are days where I can't get out of bed. There are days where I have panic attacks and someone has to I'm like, like I got a weighted blanket, all these things. So when one thing I've learned is that some it's not that your friend didn't tell you that they were depressed. They told you. They
They
told you.
showed you.
They told you and they showed you. They consistently did it, and you told them they were too negative. You don't like their vibes. Every
Yeah.
time I talk to her, she
You
always
don't
something negative.
you want them to be what you want them to be. And
And
that's the hardest
when
thing
they're
to hide
gone,
in this business.
and when they're gone, then it's like, I wonder what happened. Well, this person
Bitch, you know,
told you. They told you they were not okay. And you told them to, shake it off or you'll be fine. You need to
walk
just
it
pray.
off.
You need to pray. Have you
Yeah.
talked to God about it? I did. I did talk to him. And he told me to talk to you. So
And they don't get that. They
and
don't
they
get that.
and then
Sometimes you have to carry.
again,
My mother carried her cousin. When I say carry, I mean emotionally, she carried her. She said, Norma.
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip hop history. From iconic album delays to game changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Ifs.
It's not right. Norma couldn't even, she was so depressed, she couldn't even tie her shoes. Norma was a pretty woman, too. Pretty. And was very social and everything. And all of a sudden, she wasn't. And my mother stood by her as best she could. And that's what people don't want to do. Um, they don't want to stand by you. They want you to figure it out.
or
You
they know
want
some people don't have the capacity. And I understand that part of it. If I'm going through and you going through, you may not have enough to give me. But and I get that. I understand that. But do not volunteer to be my support system if you can't be my support system. If you got too much going on right now, I get that, right? I got too much going on right now too. That's why I'm looking for help. And people will say that they can help or they want to help. And I think everyone has that good intention of wanting to be there for you, but they don't know how to be. And when they don't know how to be, they back away completely because they have no idea what they should be doing. And they're like, you know what? I'm just going to step over here. And it's like, but I wanted to talk to you, right? Or sometimes you just, well, let me say this, everyone out there, if you have a friend who's struggling with depression and they've reached out to you to talk to you, they're not necessarily looking for you to fix them. They just want somebody to listen.
Exactly.
Listen. And
Get it
Exactly.
out.
sound logical. Let them get it out. Because if you can't get it out, it stays right here. And if it stays
That's
right
true.
here,
That's very true.
stays in my head all day, every day, rather than if I'd have been able to say it. And it's like, and even after I say it, maybe as I'm saying it, it may say, you know what? That's not right. That doesn't make any sense. But let me say it. When you take away that ability, when you take away that ability for them to actually give, like, share that information with you, express their feelings, their true feelings, when you take that away, then at some point they stop talking. And when someone
Exactly.
is suffering through depression stops talking, that is when you have to worry because they have, now that they're at a point of there's nothing left to say. And if there's nothing left to say, what
I
happens?
the all things happen. I know. I know. And this business and Black Hollywood is really, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. I don't know. P Diddy and his thousand bottles of baby oil. I mean, you can't. How about you just get like 5 bottles of uh Crisco cooking oil and just do that? Cause you need no thousand. You know, sometimes white people don't have to know everything we do. You know that they just discovered we press our hair. So, I mean,
And now you done told them about the baby.
you just and you know what, this is what P Diddy has become, the Marquita side of Black Hollywood, because the debauchery that had been going on. Oh, and you know what, and then black people that went to the parties, they act like they was surprised. You not surprised, you knew this shit was going on. You know he was doing stuff. He was brutal, he was cruel. And now, I don't know what they gonna give him, but sometime and don't take this the wrong way. I feel like, in my own way, I feel like Donald Trump would pardon him if he thought it wasn't gonna cause too much havoc, because it's some shit, because he's on one of them those flash drives. He's on video. He's on video fucking a monkey or something, and
He on that
you have to
list.
be you know
A monkey.
you
It's just like a monkey.
he looked like a monkey fucker. I just say, because you can say whatever you want to say, but he
I need
he
y'all to
looked.
understand that I adore this woman and that I cannot wait until Scorpio season starts so that I can send her a birthday card on November 20th because my Scorpio mama is amazing and I love her and I
I'm
want to
just
travel the world
saying.
with
I'm
her.
just saying. Look at Melania. She don't even talk to that man. She don't fuck him. You look at her.
Melania is she's a
Sh-
hero
She
because
has not given him no parts of
I
the pussy. He don't even remember when he saw the pussy last. He
listen,
don't.
Melania
He got
is
snapshots. That's all he got.
she said, let
That's
me
why he was
get
trying to
this.
snatch it.
She got that green card and she got a check and
And
she
her mom and daddy over here,
like
so it's all good.
is
She gave him a
no
baby.
they no even during his campaign she was nowhere to be found. And at the inauguration when she had that hat on that was like that big brim hat that he couldn't even get, like when he tried to get up on her he was right here. Like
It's,
she was just
That hat set boundaries.
that
it's like,
hat. When I saw that hat and I said, now that is a hat that is standing on business.
that's like that bitch said, you know what it is.
Right. She said, look, I'm still married to you because I need this money. However, you ain't no, I you know
She's
this
at Mar-a-Lago. She don't want to. Excuse me. She doesn't want any parts of him.
at all. And
And I heard that Baron, I don't know, he's like a Rain Man. I don't know. He has no personality.
neither do the other sons. They just pretend.
None of them. They're just like, and I think, and he did say this because what's her name? What's the black lady's name? Damn it, that got thrown out
Homes.
the White House. Um,
Omarosa.
Omarosa.
Omarosa. She said if she wasn't his daughter, he try to be with her. And I've heard a lot of men say things about their daughters in my life.
A lot, but a lot of people have said that though. A lot of people have said
You you
some of
two
the things they
you
make
two steps
comments.
from being a pedophile, and the only reason you're not a pedophile is because she's grown. Okay, you let your grown daughter sit in your lap. Bitch, what kind of fuckery is that? Cut it out. And I was wondering, it was just really funny. I knew Elon Musk and him weren't gonna get along too much longer. I knew that was gonna happen.
That was
That
I love that breakup. It was so cute.
you knew that shit wasn't gonna. I'm gonna take my Tesla. You ain't gonna do shit. You probably barely can
Tesla,
drive. Shut up.
It's all computer.
It's I rode in a Tesla on a Uber. No, is that a Uber? Yeah.
Yeah.
And my grandchildren, my grandsons, they came running. She got girls in a Tesla, girls in a Tesla. And the guy showed me how it drives itself. I said, I need you to put your hands back on the wheel. I appreciate that the car does what it does, but I need you to put your hands on the wheel for me. But it is a cool car, minus the electric thing. I don't like that. Electric cars are annoying. I don't like that. But I look at our country, and we so ain't shit. We just, you know what? It's so fucked up that people are saying it's getting better. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. Um, he's he's gonna take your rights away from you. And they say the Cuban people, Latino people are they're they want to be included in the status quo of being white. You're not. Some Latino people go, I thought he was gonna help us. No, you didn't. You better get you some black
That's
friends.
one of those. There's no way you believe that because he never said he was going to do it. Like that's the part of it. It's like when did you hear him say that to you?
He
Because you
said
went to it.
He said, I'm gonna build a wall
He's going to
and
build a
you gonna get the
wall.
fuck out. What part of wall don't you
I want
understand? I
to,
mean, I
he
don't
said,
get
I
it.
want to deport all of you, and
Uh,
I'm building a wall
I'll
so
be
can't
up
no
the
more of you
wall.
come in. So
Let me tell you something that's so messed up.
when did you hear
Didn't Wasn't it a couple of years ago that he locked your children in cages and wrapped them up in Reynolds wrap to
Yep.
stay warm, and you voted for this fucker?
Oh
That's like
yeah.
the Jews voting for a Nazi. That Get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? Get you some black friends. They'd have told you. And the black people that voted for Trump. Oh my God. Oh my God. I wish I had a whip. I just you Tom and Uncle Tom was a great man. He wasn't a bad man uh like historically, like black people want to say. Uncle Tom was a brilliant man. He was a brilliant man. He wasn't, he was helping with the Underground Railroad and all that kind of stuff, and then you got this motherfucker, the black people voting for Trump, and I can't take it. It's like, what would make you vote for him? What did Massa promise you that you what was you gonna get? Because he was never gonna give you nothing. And I got my black people. Now we belong to you. When he said that, I went, oh my God. We us's is them? Uh-uh. It's just the world is topsy turvy. And you know what? When I was working on a cruise ship, they sent us all letters. Do not talk about Donald Trump. or any politics because people are very sensitive. And it's like, sensitive about what? About what?
You know,
What
I
do you
was
s-
actually going to ask you about doing the Carnival cruises. So you did it what, like 2022, 2024?
No, I did it for 10 years.
Oh
Wow.
wow! Not
I
well,
just I
no
just
with
stopped
Carnival or just with
April in
Carnival.
April. I just stopped in April.
Got it.
Uh I once again, I don't do politics, and everything is politics in corporate. And people in corporate jobs, they're evil. They're very evil, you know, and I don't mean in a mystical way either. Um Everything gets to be personal. Everybody's trying to jockey for position. And it's like, you crazy. You don't have any moral boundaries. But I did love performing in front of all those people.
So
I
that's what I was going
did
to
love
ask.
it.
Like being able to do that for doing it for 10 years, and you're going to all these different places, right? On
Yeah,
these cruises, like with the different audiences that you're getting. So you mentioned that they told you, "Oh, don't do any politics stuff." So
yeah,
is there, and I've kind of like seen this on TV, just some different like little tropes of that the cruise ship comedian isn't that great. Like it's just some, some guy that's just kind of doing some slapstick stuff. But you are not a comedian. So
excuse me.
obviously, like on these cruises, there are really like top-notch comedians that are there. So when you are doing those shows and you're doing it on those cruises, like is what's that environment like?
For me, it's like, I love doing it. You have to be able to do a clean show and an adult show.
Mm.
And I can do both. And it was illuminating that I could do both because I'm known for being, risque and all of that stuff. And you know, I love a good dirty joke. I hosted the porn awards. What do you want? Which
Which
which by the way,
Did you
that's
which
host the
by the
AVN?
way,
You
that
host the AVNs?
she has been everywhere. She's
the
everywhere.
AVNs,
She's
yeah, I
everywhere you
did
want to
it
be. Okay.
twice.
She's like
Twice.
The
MasterCard.
only black female to do it twice.
Like she
Mm.
is everywhere that you want to be.
So
So
I do have
like
a question for you. During Def
What?
Jam in '93,
Yeah.
what was that experience being on Def Jam and the way kind of black comedy was in that time period? Like,
Okay, let me just say this. You have to remember, there wasn't a Def Jam in the beginning. It was
right.
all white rooms. Okay. So me, Steve Harvey, all of us came up in white rooms. Okay.
Mm.
And then Def Jam came. So, because comedy club owners were saying, well, black people don't tip, and that's why the wait staff don't want to, because they didn't want to advertise to black people. You need to know that. They didn't advertise they could have went to beauty shops and advertised that a black comic is coming. For every headline, thousand headliner, one of them is a black male. So you have to imagine how many you had to go through to get a black female.
Mm.
And they weren't interested in the black dollar. They were only interested in the white dollar. And I told them, I said, you missing out. You're missing out because black people don't, they get dressed up, they drink call drinks, they don't drink well drinks. And they're coming out to have a good time. They're gonna buy food, and I had to really just tell them, you're fucking it up. Okay. And slowly but surely, Def Jam came. Oh my God! Now these white comics who have enjoyed the pleasure of getting to work in the rooms that some black comics didn't get a chance to, begin to get scared and intimidated.
Mm.
Okay, okay, because Def Jam says, you can, white people greedy. We can make money with you. We can make money with you. So now they start having black comics come to their rooms. Whereas before, they weren't interested. Oh, they'd have a black comic too. They thought that all black comics were the same, just like they thought all women were the same. And that's not true. That was their excuse. And here you go. Here you go. Def Jam come. They're making money hand over fist because they know now black people gonna come and see.
Mhm.
Okay, black people gonna come and support. because they saw him on Def Jam. That was a real interesting thing. And then all of a sudden, I'm not black enough. I
Oh.
had one club owner, Mr. Greenberg, tell me, throw a few motherfuckers in there. Say a few niggas. What the fuck did you just say? Okay, so
Wow.
now I got white people telling me I'm not black enough. Or am I? What? What? All this, all of this behind Def Jam. Def Jam was a beautiful thing, but it also did us a disservice
Mm.
because now you had comics that you saw on TV, but they only had 5 minutes because that's all you saw them do is 5 minutes. Okay. I'm not gonna say his name, but there was a comic that called me. He said he was working with uh Sean Wayne. He said he got on stage and he had a killer set. I said, good. He said, but then they said they want me to do only, because you do 30 minutes. And he said, they said, don't do but 20. I said, did they change the money? And he said, no. I said, then do 20 minutes. And and see, it's just when you first start, when you, like I said, I shouldn't have said his name, but oh well. Like he's laying awake at night thinking about how to get even with me. So when you're on TV and they ask you to do an hour, but you only did 7 minutes, it's a big difference. It's a very big difference. It is not a joke. You must deliver because you got all the hype behind you, and that's a lot of stuff, a lot of hype. A lot of comics after Def Jam, they were just hype, 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 hype,
That makes a lot of sense,
Yep.
though.
I mean,
and
Like,
they
some of the
couldn't
things.
deliver.
like people that you saw that night and they were so funny, but you've never seen them again. And or the one, I mean, of course, Hollywood. Some people make it, some people don't. That's some things.
And then sometimes you get on Def Jam, and you make stars out of people too fast. If that makes sense,
No, it absolutely. That's what I was going to say. I'm like, that can also happen. Is that one person? Yeah, you had a
that
great five,
jump, and then that great 7 minutes, and
but
now he's a big
you
star, and
you
now he got to find out how he gonna deliver an hour. That's a different thing. It's a very different thing. It's a different fish. And let me tell you something. I never wanted to be a headliner. I wanted to be the highest paid feature act. Feature act only does 30 minutes.
hey,
That's what I wanted. I wanted to be the highest paid feature act. Yeah, buddy. And they said, no, Thea, you have to headline now. And it's the
Oh.
white boys that made me headline.
mm,
Tim Allen, Brad Garrett, all of them, they're like, this is not working. You need the headline. I go, no, I want to be the highest paid feature. They just looked at me like I was retarded. And
they were like,
then they
who comes
said,
up with that?
you'll get more money. And I said, okay. But I really wanted to be the highest paid feature act, which was dumb. Uh, Shit, I remember the first time I made $1,000 for New Year's Eve, and I was opening act. I was like, "Yay, buddy!"
I'm good. Let's go.
Waffle House
Uh,
for everybody.
uh, I'm going to get spicy Cheetos anyway. uh,
We about to kick it.
Who'd you open up? Who'd you open up for?
Brad Garrett
Okay.
and Tim Allen.
Okay.
Okay.
I've opened up for both, and I'll be honest with you, they were very nice to me. I worked with George Wallace and
I love George Wallace. I always say George Wallace is your favorite comedian's comedian. Like your favorite comedian's favorite comedian is George Wallace. Like
yeah, he's been doing it. Oh my God, how long has he
I
been doing it?
my entire life I remember seeing George Wallace on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember not I remember seeing him on Comic View. And then just even now to still see him and you're like, sir, are you're still doing stand up?
Yeah, he's still
But
doing that.
it's the love
Yeah.
of it. I know that he's not doing it because he has to. It's like that love of
Yeah,
the art, and that's why he
it
does.
you
Yeah.
you
He's in
just
Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in Vegas. He has dual option, whatever you call it. Uh
Residency, yeah.
yeah, dual residency. I would like to go to Vegas and have dual residency. I just don't know how to do it just
I just
yet.
want to go to Vegas.
Let me tell you something. Play the penny machine, the quick hits. Yay. Um, yeah, the quick hits, the penny machine is my shit right there.
Quick.
I love the quick hits. And I didn't even know. I didn't even know. It's so funny. It's so funny. I love the quick hits. And the most I've ever won is about $450. And I took that money and went to the mall and bought me some shoes. I'm not finna put that money back in that machine. What the
She said,
fuck
"I
is
was gonna
wrong
buy
with you?
shoes."
Y'all on that shit. That's what's wrong with you. You want me to put the money back in the machine? I don't
Come on
think
back.
so.
My
So
mom called it an iron pimp.
No.
to go back a little bit, we were talking about Def Jam. So
Okay.
at that time, I mean, again, when I was watching '93, I was watching Def Jam, late at night, in my grandparents' living room, and trying to turn down the volume so they can't hear all the cuss words. But there was, I mean, there, as far as women were concerned, there were not a lot of black women who
No.
I saw,
No. Adele
Cheryl
I
Givens.
said they'll give him
Underwood, or there's literally
Underwood.
a Cheryl Underwood
Yeah.
that I remember by her, like she had on this little orange crop top and these black leggings, but I remember those jokes because that's how much you watch Def Jam. Like, you, even when the tapes came out,
Mhm.
oh, Stacy bought them. I had a Capital One credit card with a $200 limit. I
Mhm.
bought them tapes and had them shipped down to SEMO, Southeast Missouri State. We sat in the lobby, put that VCR on, and we had a good time. Everybody
You
was
know what? We used to, you know what? Black people used to know how to have a good time. I used to, you know what? uh, if I see one more line dance where they popping them fans, I'm gonna have to
Fan.
slap. I mean, really? I mean, you know, you could be teaching your children Black history, but no, 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 fuck that. Let's
Pop these
pop those
things.
Nah,
fans.
Chinese fan.
Go somewhere, girl. Stacey, you need your ass
thing
whooped.
is that
Anyway,
She
I got
said
this
she need her
fan
ass whooped.
before the song came out and everybody got into it. I just randomly got the fan somewhere. And when everybody started doing it, I'm like, don't I got a fan around there somewhere? And
I'm
then
in Texas. It's hot. You need all the fan and
so yeah,
blow.
so I live in Dallas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am. Like right
I'm
now, I'm
sorry.
in St. Louis this week, but I live in Dallas permanently. I've been there
Let me tell
actually
you something.
for 10
I
years.
now see. I'm a person that believes that. This sounds crazy.
She for the hate on
Uh,
Dallas.
okay, I'm not hating on. You know what? Dallas has never been my favorite place, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it just had never has been. I don't know why. Because in Fort Worth, the people are kind of uppity. Will you stop it, Keenan? Shit, man. Uh, uh,
Fort Worth is a whole different thing.
yeah, I know. And when I think of Dallas, I think of Fort Worth, and that's why I don't like it. Because
Funky
the
town.
people are they so snarky and snotty, and it's like, you know what, you ain't that. You believe your own bullshit. I can get with that, but you really need to calm down. Um, I Def Jam. It was a good thing, and then until it wasn't. Okay, because egos got big. It made people get egos. That's a dangerous thing, an ego. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. And people can say what they want to say about me, but nobody can say that I was mean to. I would hope nobody would say I was mean to them. I heard that somebody said that when I was up, I would throw shade. I said, "You a lying motherfucker." I never throw shade. I've never had to throw shade. I never do it because I'm not like that. But the bitches that they told me said it, I said, that's a lie. You bring a bitch at my house and they say that you can't fuck and you mad at me? What? I I'm not gonna say who it is. I'm
Right, I
not.
know it's all good.
I don't know what to do. Like, I
But
don't.
I said, look here. I'm gonna have a barbecue, and look here. Don't bring nobody. It's just gonna be us. It's just gonna be us. Chris Tucker. Da 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 da. That's I said one name. That was it. And the rest of them, I said no other people can come. It's just us. Well, that was like talking to this wall over here. So I say, didn't I say don't bring nobody here? Didn't I say that? And I'm not gonna say who it is, but I'm gonna say a certain person and his girlfriend.
Invited everybody.
He brought his brother. If you guess it, I tell you, but I can't
Wait a
tell
minute, hold
you.
on, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, we got a person, we got a man,
It's a
we got
man.
a girlfriend, and the man has a brother that
He
people
brings a
can come.
brother.
Okay.
Okay, so then let me
It's
just
gotta be the
finish the
Wayans then, right?
story.
It's gotta be the Wayans.
No, it's not that. And nope. So I say, didn't I say don't bring nobody? Just us. It's just family. So this person and his woman, they start to argue. And I'm like, this is crazy. And my friend and I are smoking a joint. And the girl say, out of nowhere, she said, your dick is big, but you can't fuck. Now, I
Two things can be true.
okay,
That's
they
all I'm
can.
saying. Like
Okay,
friends, like D and Scott, two things can be true.
I get it.
okay.
Two things can be true.
So, okay, so I'm gonna say this, my friend Robin. Robin and I are looking at each other
Dying.
like,
Trying not to fall out.
wait. Okay, so wait. Did okay, okay. She said, I did not. I can't believe this bitch said that shit. I can't. I said, I can't. And Robin had stopped smoking. She had stopped smoking for a couple of months. But now this bitch have her wanting a cigarette because she said, I done brought you to my A-list friend and you gonna come over here and you gonna tell. And I'm like looking at him and the guy, everybody like time stopped. Time stopped. And I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, okay. Okay, we're just gonna play it off. We're gonna play it off.
We'll play it
It's
off.
just because we high. And like, okay, we're just gonna let this ride. Just let it ride. Cause she said it, you know, uh she might not mean she fuck it. Let me hit the joint. So anyway, we sitting up there and he said, well, you heard what she said, I got a big dick. He said, yeah, but you can't fuck. You can't fuck, okay? And so Rama says, come on, take me to the store. I need to get a pack of cigarettes.
I gotta
So
go.
because she doesn't know what to do. And so I say, okay, this is my house. Let me put a stop to this. I said, look here. Uh Doodly Doo, I ain't saying his name. He's like my baby cousin. And if he can't satisfy you, that's not for me to know. And I said, you way the fuck out of line. Coming over here and saying some foul shit like that. You way the fuck out of line. So she kind of starts getting misty, and she should, because I put a bitch in her place. Uh
As you should.
as I should. It's my house. And then all the other guys, they start chiming in. And so uh she takes a Robin to get some cigarettes after I said that. I said, look here, don't you never bring a bitch to my house that don't respect you. Okay. And he said, but she said I had a big dick. Then we all yelled, but you can't fuck. So really, you have a big cup of shut the fuck up. That's what you do. So then so now we are at a stage that I don't even know what the fuck this is what's going on. So I say, let me tell you this. Get this bitch out my house for some bad shit jump off. So I say to everybody, okay, what happened here, we can't tell nobody. It can't go on. Chris Tucker say, I'm gonna tell two people. And they gonna tell two people, and I said, no.
He said, "I'm gonna tell two
You tell
people."
two people.
Tell two people. Matter of fact, I've already told one. I've already told somebody.
Okay, it's bad enough you brought this nigga with you, and now he heard what this had. So now I said, Chris, please don't tell anybody, cause this is bad. This is bad. So he said, I'm gonna tell somebody. That's all he keeps saying. I'm gonna tell somebody.
Somebody gonna find out.
I got to tell somebody.
Somebody has to know this information.
I say, you guys, I need you. We're not gonna talk about this.
Tell them.
But the person that this happened to, he's such a jackass. He would annoy the other guys and they say, shut up with your non fucking ass. We're at the comedy store. And I said, didn't I say we weren't going to talk about this? And I said, he's asking for it. And the guy says, he's asking for it. And I said, I don't care if he's asking for it.
You can't
Don't
get
tell him. Don't say that. He went down the line. I swear they was at Magic Mountain, and he said, "With your non fucking ass, what the hell?"
Because black folks won't let shit go.
no.
It doesn't
That was
matter.
If I told you who it was, you would
We
die
gonna
laughing.
grab
I swear to
you
God. And I
forever.
know, Chris. What does Chris do? Chris go. He said, "Yeah, but my dick is big." He says the person says, "Well, you heard my dick is big." He said, "Yeah, you got a big dick. That's like having a new truck and you can't drive." And I said, "See, you know, everybody got this person except me." And then he pushed me. I said, if you don't shut your non fucking ass up, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm up here trying to protect you. You got a bitch telling everybody you got a big dick, but you can't fuck. But now you want to try to say some smart shit with me. You better be quiet, Tiny Tim. Motherfucker walking around with a big dick and can't fuck. What does that make you? What does that make you? It makes you useless.
Useless.
Useless. Big dick. Can't fuck. Uh. And then I broke my own rules, so I don't know. But that I have had some fun times with some ridiculousness. Uh,
We love shenanigans.
you know what? Let me tell you something. Sometimes you can't be yourself. You want to be yourself so bad. And Hollywood said you're supposed to have two faces, the one you show the audience and the one you have at home. Well, that's too many. That's two faces, one too many. I said, I'm not gonna lie. When I had the show, the guys, Andrew Suskind was short. He was short. We was gonna take his car and move it and put a big wheel in its place. He don't know how close.
A big wheel.
A big wheel. Let that motherfucker. And then another thing is I would see things that I wasn't supposed to see, like the table script, the first one, and I would see it and I would have read it and then we would put it back. And then when they would start to read it, the table read, I go, oh no, we can't say that. We can't say that. Well, have you read it? Well, as luck would have it, yeah, they wrote some of the most racist shit and sexist and misogynist, just misogynist, and I would look at the ladies and go, don't fuck them guys, because that's what they think you are. That's what they thought black women were. The PAs were their concubines.
Mm.
And if they say they didn't, you'll lie. Because I know who you fucked, and I still remember it.
I ain't forgot.
You know, bitch, I still remember. That's what's so fucked up. I remember one time Yolanda Powell had written a script. I never will forget this. She had written a script, and it was pretty good. Wasn't bad. Next thing I know, I said, I think we could do this. Next thing I know, I see Yolanda. She's crying. I said, what's wrong? The next script for the show, it has Bernie Kukoff's son's name on it. They took her script and took pieces of it and put it under Bernie Kukoff's son's name.
Oh,
That's how dirty it was. I should write a book. Anyway,
Listen, I'm like, what? Like, you might need a podcast.
Yeah.
it's
Like
like,
now, I
don't
think now
tell
you
me what a mother won't do. Okay, don't tell me, because
say
this rumors that Oprah has done some shit like that. So, when you have power, you can do what you want. I said, "Oh, Yolanda, this is a mess." And because another thing is, people think when you first get the first year of your show that you have all this power, and that's not true. I didn't have that kind of power. Okay, it's just like going to a new job. Let me get on the job and get a grip first before you start asking me to do stuff.
Hey, thank you so much for watching part 1 of our interview. Stay tuned for part 2.